The best way of building rapport is not so much by, hey, where are you from? How's the weather there? Some people are literally just not talkers. They're on this call to do business. To get them to talk, to get as much info as you can about how much they know about you already. Break the ice in between all the questioning. Do is you want to almost always first confirm what they said by either acknowledging it or repeating it. So like, let's say he says you, we work with 10 clients. And then you say, okay, 10 clients. So you say it out loud. It shows you were listening. And what you do is possible, not every single time, but whenever fitting, not every time, it's like you put in a statement before you ask the next question. So it's like, 10 clients, got it. That's nice. Actually, yeah, we've seen another brand working also, and they had also some bigger clients here. Yeah, that's awesome, by the way. Nice, 10 clients, great. And so the next question would be, boom, going to the next question. And so you just state some things. The art here is to not get into a talking mode too much, where you're giving away the leadership of the call, where they suddenly start asking you questions. So it's like going a little bit into leading some control away, but you still have the control in your hand, and you then go back into it. And that's something you need to train a little bit. And the easiest way is to make these small statements. And then sometimes you need to also, where appropriate, crack a little joke or something like this. Yeah, the stuff that you can't really plan. It's only what comes to mind for you in that moment if it's fitting, So that's what I say. And like, be ready to make a little social statement, a little joke or something if it's appropriate. But mostly share experience, give small compliments, not too much. Don't be overly impressed by, that's awesome. By the way, really good. Yeah. 10 years already. Oh, nice. That's pretty great. Nice. Love it. Yeah, we've seen something very similar, by the way. That's happening quite a lot now in this industry, right? Yeah. We've seen this a lot lately as well. And a lot of stuff happening. Great. And by the way, next question, so make it a bit more casual, say a few things in between. And then usually you're getting people to wake up. On the other hand, you also shouldn't be too concerned. You need to also get better over time at understanding personalities. Some people are literally just not talkers. And while for you it's awkward, for them, they're just on this call to do business. And they just know this is a call we want to figure out. Let me go through these questions and let's just get through it. So while you think it's awkward, for some people it's actually not awkward. So you need to understand this also a little bit when they go into the call. Some people, usually people that are a bit more introverted, they don't share that much. So you need to kind of like build a little bit rapport, ask some questions about their goals and so on. But you also don't have to overdo it. They're also not looking for this. So like over time, I think you will get better at finding that balance. And why did you accept to talk to me, right? Because that sounds a little bit like, they do you a favor for talking to you. What I would rather, the way I would phrase it is something along the lines of, hey, what made you take some time out of your calendar to jump on a call with me here today? So it's not like you just jumped on a call with me, took some time out of your calendar. That almost implies that they're valuing it because they took some time out of it. They could have also not. And that gets them to subconsciously explain why they do that. Yeah. And so, like what made you take some time off the calendar and jump on the call with me today? And so then they explain. Usually it's also the same response you're going to get it's the same idea of also what their goal is from this call. But they might also, it's the same, it's like both reason for it as well as purpose for it. And so they might explain both, here's what I want to get out of it, but also here's why. I've seen this and you talked to me before and I've seen this about you guys. So you get way more context. And the more context you get at the beginning, the more things you can jump into this. For example, if they say, I've checked out a video on your website, I've seen why. And then I decided, why not? Let's jump on a call. Oh, great. What did you see about the video? Did you see that? Then, I've seen the video. Great. What did you like about the video? I would immediately take these chances to drill deeper and get them to talk, to get as much info as you can about how much they know about you already. And that immediately gets them to be more warmed up because they can reveal all the info they have about you. And then from there, you can then set the frame again. Great. So this call is about X, Y, and Z. It usually runs best by doing this and this. Sounds good. Yes, sounds good. And then you have a little bit more rapport. So the best way of building rapport is not so much by, hey, where are you from? How's the weather there? Kind of thing. But more like, what makes you time to take, why are you here? Like, how much do you know about us already? And so on. And then usually people are getting a bit more warmed up. But yeah, it sounded like you usually resonate most with people that are like you, that are also easy to talk to, a bit more social, can crack a joke. But then it's exactly usually the personalities who were a bit different than you that you then don't resonate with so much. But just accept this as normal. Not every conversation has to feel super easy. And over time, dealing with those will feel easy for you, even though it's not simple. Okay. And so I think you're on a good path. Just make these adjustments here with the start of the call and the statements, and I think it will be good. Why should we work with you? You definitely don't want to start answering the question. The idea is you tell me. Because if you have done a good job so far in the presentation, that should answer that. Would first deflect the question. It depends what stage they're asking, but the first deflection could be, well, how much do you know already about us? So they ask you, why should we work with you? Okay, well, before I answer that, I mean, how much do you actually know about us? And so I would then ask them then they will say, yeah, we've checked out your website and all of this. And I would literally ask them, okay, tell me more. What have you seen? What case studies have you seen? What do you know? Because when they ask this, what they want to know is actually if they can be certain you can help them. That's the code behind that. And if you basically figure out if they actually know already the case studies, then you can see what else might be missing for them. But sometimes turns out they have not seen any case studies of yours. And so I would never answer this question directly and say, hey, here's why you should work with us. I would just lead the conversation into this direction of answering the blind spots or like helping them get that certainty that they're missing. So basically, I would then say, great, have you seen already our case studies? And ideally, you have the scenario that you send them between two strategy calls. You send them case studies. So then usually this would never come up. Because if they have super strong case studies, these are the reason why they should work with you. Because literally you have helped someone very similar to them in the past get the result that they want. That's most of the reason why. But let's just say they haven't seen it, or you forgot to send it or something, or you don't have a sequence. Then what I would do is I would literally say, have you seen our case study with X, Y, and Z? And then either they say yes or they say no. And then I would just literally share my screen. If you haven't, of course, shared this already in the pillar phase, right? And then I would just go over and share it and say, here's like we work with these and these and these guys. They have the same situation that like you worked and so on. And so then I would say, do you feel like you were very similar? Or do you feel like that was a very similar case study to you? Or do you feel like, depending on what you have in the case study, you have similar challenges? Ideally, you want to choose something that, yes, they were similar challenges, it's a similar business. And then you say, great, so do you feel like that's a similar client to yours? And ideally, then they say, yes, I think they're very similar to you. Great. So, and then I would literally continue just asking them, great, what other questions do you have? Because at some point you just ignore the question and you still answer it without directly answering it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Because why should we work with you is always like, I am here and you are down here. And you don't want to get into this frame of like, hey, we are, like, why should we choose to work with you? You also want to maintain some level of, we also want to make sure that the clients we take on are great. So you could even flip the script. You could literally also say, yeah, great. And why should we take you on as a client? So of course, this is literally is the same question. Why should we work with you as a brand? So you could flip that around. This, of course, requires a little bit of strong frame on the call and maybe a little bit of humor so it doesn't come across as super awkward and then they see it as weird. But if you do the first approach already, I think most of the time you can handle it.
If you like this video, then definitely subscribe for more videos like that. And if you want to learn more how we can help or just get any of the resources that we shared in this video, then definitely check the link in the description or just make a comment under the video and we'll make sure to hook you up or send you all the info that you need. Looking forward and seeing you in the next video.